What's up, you beautiful people? Today, I want to share with you two limiting beliefs that are probably holding you back and you don't even realize it. You probably aren't even conscious of them because, as Orson Scott Card said, we question all of our beliefs except for those we truly believe and those we never think to question at all. And these two beliefs are so deeply ingrained in the way that you move through the world, that you interact with other people, that it doesn't even rise to the level of awareness that what you're doing in those interactions might actually be injuring you. Here's what I mean. The first idea is this idea that I call strolling or scroll trolling. This is when you scroll through social media and you see something that somebody says, or they're presenting something in a particular way. Maybe they're flashing their Lamborghini, and you make a mental note, a mental judgment of that person. You don't leave a trolling comment. You don't leave a mean comment. You just keep strolling through. You make the comment in your head and you keep going, and you live under this delusion that you are a good person, right? Like, I don't judge people. I'm not judgmental. I would never leave a trolling comment. And yet the thought occurred inside your head. That person flashing the watch, oh, they're fake. Oh, that person that's flashing their body, they're a floozy, right? We have these internal dialogues that are occurring. And the reason that I want you to become conscious of that is that what you desire for others is what you will receive yourself. And so when you look at other people and you have these judgments, that judgment you have of them is the same judgment you have of yourself that's holding you back. If you don't feel comfortable in your own body and you're scrolling through social media and making those flash judgments of other people, that's why. You're not afraid of the judgments that other people have of you, right? Like, this is a really important concept that I try to drill into the minds of my students, because one of the things I encourage everybody to do as an entrepreneur is to put out content, to share your journey, share your message, because your message can be the thing that, shines your light into the darkness, allows somebody else to let their light shine, because they have that silent permission that you've given them. They have the confidence, the conviction, because they see you doing it and they're like, if old Anthony can do it, then fuck, anybody can, right? Sharing your story is powerful. And yet the thing that holds people back from wanting to do that is the fear of judgment. Now, the fear of judgment is this really interesting thing, because we will tell ourselves that the judgment I fear is, what if my brother says this? What if my sister says that? What if my mom says that thing over there, right? And we convince ourselves it's the fear of their judgment that holds us back. And if I tell you that, most people will go, you're right. Yeah, I am kind of afraid of what my sister will think, and that is kind of holding me back from making the content. It's not the strangers that have their comments, that leave the trolling remarks, that get you. It's the people that are closest to you, the people that you love. Now, let's take this one step further, because what you probably don't realize is that it's not actually your fear of the judgment of strangers. It's not your fear of the judgment of your loved ones. It's the fear of your own judgment of yourself. Because that judgment that is in your mind right now is not you. It was implanted in you from somebody else. That voice that you hear that tells you you're not good enough, that you're never going to amount to anything, that's not your voice. That's a voice that somebody else at some point in your life put into you. Maybe a parent, and maybe a well-meaning uncle, maybe a teacher, maybe some kid on the playground. It's somebody else's voice, because no child grows up, no child thinks that they aren't amazing, that they aren't incredible, that they don't have limitless potential. Those are ideas that are implanted inside of us. And so when we hold ourselves back from sharing our message, we tell ourselves it's a fear of judgment I have of what my family's going to think. No, you're afraid of what you're going to think, because that voice in your head is probably the voice of your family. You don't even realize that judgment that you have of yourself, it's not your judgment, it's somebody else's judgment. And you probably don't stop to articulate it like this. But if you've ever put out content and then not gone and watched back, or you watch it back and you have just a negative narration going, where you're like, oh, I look stupid, I sound dumb, I didn't say that well. You're doing the very thing that you are afraid other people are going to do to you. Now, here's why this matters, is because if you do this, if you get into this process of strolling through people's content and having this invisible narrative, this invisible judgment that's occurring over there, then of course that's going to transmute back onto you. And I know this from firsthand experience, because I've shared this in previous podcasts. It's the idea of, drive your Jaguar. So the story here is that a couple years ago, I guess it was about a year ago. I really wanted a Jaguar. I thought they're a really rad car. Like, they look beautiful, but I'm not really a car guy, and I kind of rail against the idea of just having status symbols for the sake of having status symbols. And I was telling Jamie, like, I was having this internal conflict about wanting this thing, but then also being very frugal and not wanting people to see me in this thing and have like this cast of judgment. She goes, it sounds like you're judging yourself for this thing. Nobody else is judging you for it. And anytime that you see, and she was dead on, she was absolutely right, because anytime I see somebody like drive by in a nice car, I have this internal judgment. I immediately jump to like, oh, they're just flashy. Oh, they don't know how to spend their money, or like, oh, they're investing in stupid things that aren't going to bring them long-term joy and satisfaction, right? I go through that narrative in the same way. And she goes, you just need to forget what people think and drive your Jaguar, Anthony. If that's what you want, and that became a metaphor for more than just driving the Jaguar. That became a metaphor for just doing the thing that you want to do free of the judgment. Not the judgment of others, but it's the judgment of yourself. I cannot tell you how, once you understand that it is your own judgments of yourself that's holding you back, not anybody else's, it's freeing, because you realize in that moment you have the power, the control, the ability to stop judging yourself for those things. You could just in a moment be like, you know what? I don't care about the Jaguar anymore. I am going to do that. I am going to get one of those. Fuck yeah, I want that. Oh yeah, I do want to just dance in the street and sing a song. I don't care what anybody else sings. You can make that decision in the moment's notice. You can't change anybody else's opinion or their judgments of you. You can't change what your parents think about your content. You can't change what your best friend from high school is going to think. They're going to think it's cringy. Like, and I've heard this all because I've had friends from the past look at my content and they're like, I can't watch it. It's cringy. It's like, I don't care, right? Because I'm cool with it. And I'm telling you, as soon as you can get outside of your own way, that's when magic starts to happen. Because here's what I believe. I believe every single person on this planet has a seed of greatness inside their heart. And the only thing that stops that seed from blossoming is you. It's you standing in the way of your own light. You are casting a shadow on that seed of greatness. And all you have to do is get out of your own fucking way. You don't have to ask anybody else to move. Nobody else has to change, because their shadows are insignificant compared to your own. And all you have to do is move out of the way, let your light shine, and that seed will blossom. So that's today's message. Get the fuck out of your way. Go make an impact on the world, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.